Oh, I was going to say hello, hello, and welcome back, but I guess I can still say it. I just, let's wait a second. Ah, there we go. Now the video's caught up. And I think my chair sunk. Does that sometimes. It's very difficult. If anybody knows of a good place to buy the gas cylinders for chairs, let me know because I find it difficult to find those things. Um, I think because the ones on Amazon, they're all crap, all of them. You have to get them from a specialty store, and I found the specialty store that sells them once. I don't know if I can find it again. Anyway, so we're going back to we're still on the presentation stuff. So let me get this back to the size that I wanted to have it at, which was this size. Okay, and go ahead and bring this back up and pull this down a little bit. I actually, for those of you that can't tell, you might be able to tell, you might not be able to tell. I actually have my desktop slightly different shades of gray so that I can tell where the position is to pull these things to. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to continue working on, I did the first 6 of these. Let me bring this out here. So of my tips, I talked with a buddy and he gave me one more that I need to fit in here somewhere. So I don't know where I'm going to fit that in, but I'm going to fit it in somewhere, and try to somehow keep this still to 12. I don't know. I might have to go to 13, lucky 13. We'll see. Anyway, so we're going to pick up with the power of prefixes. And before we do any of that, while I was on the plane on the flight back, I watched a master class on sleep, and it convinced me that I'm going to kill myself. So, um, we're going from Mountain Dew to Perfect Peach. So, it's been steeping for about 10 minutes. It's excellent. So we'll do that instead of loading up until on caffeine until death. Okay. And again, feel free to interrupt, ask questions, yada 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 yada. I'm gonna go ahead and get to slide 6,000. This might be one of my biggest presentations in terms of number of slides. Okay. Not really sure where to put caddy because it's not directly express. I think I'll put that in the honorable mentions. I think I'll have 2 honorable mentions, and one will be caddy. Um, yeah, it makes local development easier to actually use a real web server, so it's closer. Plus, if you use caddy in production, use caddy in development, then any of the issues, caching, etc., you would encounter in both places. Okay. I probably have to split this up at some point. I don't need that anymore. Tastes very good. Yum. I kind of want to turn the AC off, but then it'll get too hot. Okay, Express Pro tips. We are at 8. But it's actually 7. And this one's pretty simple. I almost wish I could fold it into something else, but I don't think I really should. So this is just going to be simply app.get, say API hello, function, rec res.json, message, hello. And this is pretty simple. Res So I'm gonna put this like this. Here's what not to do. Oops. And what not to do is to use send. Here's what's to do. And what to do is use JSON. And the rationale is communicates intent. It's unambiguous. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything other than that. It's pretty straightforward. Um, all right, and then the next one, I don't remember what exactly it is, but one of the JSON options, express, documentation, express, router. Let's just probably the first one here. Um, nope. Let's see. Indent. No, not ident. Indent. You gotta be kidding me. All right, I think it was enable, maybe. App.set, maybe. JSON spaces. Number of spaces. Oh yeah. Okay, so what we want to do is do server.set JSON spaces to 2. And I don't remember if most people do Node. I'm going to just search Node-env real quick. Okay, yeah. Cache view templates, cache CSS, generate less verbose error messages. So basically, what? It's not any of the things Express is good at. Oh well. We could do it this way. If production is not equal. There, we could have that. So all right. Bonus. JSON spaces. All right. We don't want to use send. We do want to use res.json. It's unambiguous. It communicates intent. And then bonus JSON spaces. All right, cool. That one was simple. Oh, that one was left to 8. I don't know that I actually have these in an order that I care about yet. Okay, so let's do 7. Prefixes. And then this one, I think I can keep it pretty simple. So recres. All right, and actually, maybe I do want to use the animate on these. We'll see. So the reason that you want to use API, the API prefix is cache control, cookie control, CDN routing. All this stuff becomes a lot easier. I mean, I guess CDN routing goes in with cache control, but whatever. This is also good, you can also do this with domains. Pair with API subdomain for max effect. All right. And then, yeah, I want to introduce my principle that I call gatekeepers at the gates. Door keepers at the doors. Maybe I need to talk about middleware before I talk about power of prefixes. It's kind of a simple one. Let's see. Okay. Oops. I actually need to know, is gatekeeper a word? Or is it two words? And do we have such thing as a doorkeeper? So I'll explain this in a minute. Yeah, okay. So I want to do things like, yeah, public. We've got sudo user. I think that's kind of enough. I don't think I need to go much deeper than that. So the idea here is pretty simple. It's just that we want to be using routing to help us programmatically control permissions. Let's see. So reduce surface area of errors. I think I'm going to throw this thing about JSON in as a bonus with let's see. Let's take this one. Take this back to .env. We're talking about how you can use say maybe right here. Okay, that's good. All right, so this was something I mentioned earlier. What's up, Mohammed? How you doing? Oh, everybody, welcome that's joining in, and keep in mind there's about a 15 to 20-second lag, so sorry if we get a little bit out of sync on the comments and stuff. So This was a note. This is much earlier in the presentation. But since I put this in here, okay, so let me try that again. I'm in speech now. Back in the section on process.env, I had this example that ended up not being a really great example, but the core thing that I wanted to communicate was to avoid globalifying all the things. Because when you are using process.env, really you should only be using it in one or two files, probably your server.js. You know, I think it's better to initialize than it is to, let's see. Let me try this. Keep props. This is too. Sorry, I'm thinking in my head and then not saying out loud. What my primary goal here is not to explain what I'm doing, but to create slides for the presentation. Anyway, so favor dot create ops over process.env. I don't know if that's gonna go well. Let me try to zip back to that slide. Okay. I'll talk about this. All right. Yeah, that's too much. I need to somehow limit this text. I may just make it small. That might work well enough. Because I kind of need that. Those, in this particular case, it is what it is. I need those words. I don't want to chop off the words because the words are important. So let me try doing it this way instead. But then I need to replace all the ticks with code. So let's see, we're going to replace tick. Word and hyphen and dot. We're going to take all of that with, oh, whoops, we should probably do colons here. Code \1 code. Why did it not find this? Because I need to put a plus. Okay, so word or dot plus. Let's try this. Oh, maybe I needed to escape. Do I need to escape the brackets as well? Let me see. See what happens if I escape the brackets. Nope. Not escaping the brackets. So those are word characters. I'm just working on a presentation. So I've got a presentation that I'm doing tomorrow on Express Pro Tips. And I'm just trying to put it together. So this is kind of I put this under the banner of a study session, more or less. Because it's kind of like that. How about you, Mohammed? What do you do? What brings you here today? Okay. All right. So let's see. There we go. I think that's about right. Yep. We'll go with this. That's wrong. We're going to undo that one. That's weird. Why is it doing that? It's creating lots of extra spaces here, but I don't want them. Well, I guess it doesn't make that much difference. Whatever. I'll just let it be. I'll let it be what it wants to be. All right. Yeah, so that's that option back there. So I'm going to see if I can just eliminate this .json thing entirely to make extra room for one more tip in my list of 12. Because that was such a tiny one. I feel like I can go back in with this express.router. Kind of needs to be its own thing. Dang it. All right, gonna leave it there. Junior front-end dev. Your channel popped up in my recommendations, so I clicked it. Don't understand much of the thing you do, but I love it. Well, okay. Great. Well, I am doing JavaScript. So, and I usually on the channel, I'm live coding a lot of times for Dash, which is a digital currency. Dash is digital cash. It's a portmanteau. Perfect peach. Yum. I'm sipping a peach tea tonight as well. All right. Actually, I'm going to use... Let me see if I can find the way that Ethan said it. Because what he said very well. Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Where did it go? Where did it go? How do I get this friend thing to go away? Um, let's see. Let's see. Ethan Garofalo microservices. Practical microservices. Does he have any other ones? I think he said it pretty well just like that. Except that I'm probably going to have to smallify this because that's going to be too big. Let's see. By the time... Well, let's see what it looks like. I think what I want to emphasize here is all your preconditions are met. That's not good. That's not what I wanted. I want and dash, maybe? Will that work? Oh. I do not work with Angular, no. Let's see if we can turn this into something here. Let's see, by the time the request gets to your handler, can we shorten this a little bit? Let me see. I just kind of want to workshop that just a touch. Let's see. To quote you, can we shorten that to by the times our middleware should have already ensured that all preconditions to handler we'll try both of these. I came up with another version I'm gonna put up here. I don't know if I like it as much. Ensured that all preconditions are met. There we go. By the way, feel free to ask. You can ask me particularly questions that are about Go or JavaScript or software engineering. Maybe we change it up a little bit more. Emitters should have ensured that all preconditions before the request maybe like this. Nowhere should be sufficient to ensure that all preconditions are met by the time the request gets to the handler. I kind of like the way that he actually said it. I think the way that he actually said it is better. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Let me plop this out real quick. Let's see here. All right, I'm getting rid of this. Okay, moving along. All right, well, I think that's about that. And I will also try getting rid of the small just to see how that looks. So I can just change this out to X small for now. Oh yeah, that's too big. I kind of want it somewhere in the middle. Maybe use style. Hmm. And then here we could go small. Maybe. And just say it 3 different ways. All right, good. I think that's good. So that's the power prefixes down. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I use prefixes for. That's mostly it. Authentication, routing, caching. Let's go ahead and just throw a code example in here. Let's see, how to use. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Check friend ID. All right, let's try this. Hmm. Cache control, cooking control. I don't know. What was I going for here? I think I kind of lost it. Um, yeah, I think I just need to move this. Let me take this back a few steps. Yeah, okay. I kind of had the right idea back here. Let's go back to this. Okay, this would be, okay, that's good. And then I think what I'm going to do here is keep up with the animate and then just repeat this 3 times and we'll just look at each line and just comment on it. I think that'll be good. All right. So you can have prefix come up with keep it on the gate, like API user. I kind of want one more in there. Okay, maybe we do like this. Just kind of coming up with something now. Okay, now yeah, I want to break this down actually. So we're going to take this into 1 and 2. And then we're going to take this one similarly into 1 and 2. Three, four, five. And then we're going to take this one. I'll just leave this at 1 maybe. Let's say this. Must user. Must have friend. Maybe user, maybe bot. Maybe as friend. Um, there we go. That's kind of the one. I actually prefer if let me see. Do I have my JS? No, I got prettier. What do we have for? We don't have. Let me look at my prettier template here. Trailing comma all. There we go. QRST. That's good. Uh, always add trailing comma. The tea is good, my friends. The tea is good. Huzzah. Let's see, post API sudo what is something let's see, users verified see, validate something. Must have friend. Must user. Okay, I'll go through this in a second. But I think those are pretty decent examples. Alright, use enough middleware so by the time the request gets to your handler, all your preconditions are met. And I need a lowercase author. Too many capital. Too many capitals there. Okay. So must have user. Must be friend. Oops. Maybe pick public. Maybe his friend must. Yeah, something like that. Oh, whoops. Um, those are kind of terrible names, but what do you do? Not sure why that. Oh, that one needs to be there too. Okay. Okay. CDN routing, cache control. I'm going to say cookie and token control. Okay. All right. So I think we're done with that one. So now I think I need to talk about the multiple middleware in the router bit. So let me go back to express.router. Where was I talking about that? I think there was something I'm forgetting about here. Thoughts on Filecoin? I don't really have any thoughts on Filecoin. I have I have spent zero minutes today thinking about Filecoin. Now I'm probably up to about 20 to 30 seconds. What are your thoughts on Filecoin, AW? Let's see. I think there's something else I wanted to try here. Okay. I think that anything related to we live as slaves to a much lesser degree than almost any other. Slavery always changes forms. It exists throughout human history. And there are different factions. So the company store, that was slavery. Um, and there's been times when slaves have been treated well, and there's been times when slaves have been treated poorly. I think the company store would be one of those times where it sounds like people were treated rather poorly because they were put in conditions in which they were going to die. Um, and we're now in a position where the slaves are treated relatively well. Um, we don't have too much of, the like the Roman arena. We don't really have that. You're not forced to compete to your death. But I think the last couple of years have really shown us that we are living in slavery and that harder times are probably up ahead. And the solution of a digital currency is no match for the power of a government, for slave keepers. So I think that most of it is just scams and people that are kind of dumb but think they're really smart. And some of it, a very, very small minority, is stuff that actually could work pretty well from a technological perspective, but will not work well from a governmental perspective. With that recent thing that happened, basically, I mean, it's so silly because it's funny money, right? It's whatever people believe that it is. Literally, it's what people believe it is. There is no inherent value in any of it. And the fact that, I mean, so the government started cracking down on it in particular. I don't know how many times it's done it, but I know just recently with the war in Ukraine, they started basically saying, "Oh, well, because there's so many Russian sympathizers in the United States, we have to crack down on digital currencies because we don't want our citizens who are Russian sympathizers to be sending Russia so much money." Obviously, that's BS. If anything, there's so much propaganda in the United States against Russia that there's no Russian sympathizers here, except for perhaps a few people who have actually been to Russia. Um, but it's not like people in the United States are saying, "Oh yeah, go Russia, take down Ukraine." I don't think that's a thing. Um, and so the fact that this entirely manufactured war that I'm pretty sure the United States actually started, um, not, I mean, and then is funding in a way with the whole, we're shipping weapons to Ukraine. What, to areas where the Russians are immediately going to invade and take it over? I mean, it's I don't know. I think there's a lot of goofy stuff going on, but you just can't get past the regulation. I've 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 looked at some of the stuff from a technical perspective, and the only way that you can really, it's like ghost guns. If you're familiar with ghost guns, you can 3D print a gun. You can't outlaw a 3D printer. That just doesn't make sense, but you kind of can. And that's kind of what's happening with the digital money. You can't outlaw somebody doing math. You can't outlaw a computer program that just does a mathematical operation, but you kind of can. Um, so I don't know. We're in dark times. Or headed for particularly dark times. And I mean, if Corona, whoever didn't wake up during this whole Corona thing is just so deep asleep, they're not going to wake up. Uh, I mean, it, yeah, it started before then, but it was in little pockets. I happen to be aware of some of it because of some friends that I had that were dangerous wrong thinkers and were willing to say the wrong thing and suffer the consequences. But then when Corona happened and it became half the population needs to go to jail, that, I mean, if that didn't wake you up, that they want a nation of slaves, I don't, yeah, I don't know what will. But I don't I don't think technology can solve the problem. I'd put it to this: a crypto nerd's imagination. His laptop's encrypted. Let's build a multi-million-dollar cluster to crack it. No good. It's 4096-bit RSA. Blast! Our evil plan is foiled. This is kind of what you know. Replace the authentic crypto nerd with the faux modern crypto nerd, and you basically have the same situation with the banks and the government, right? What would actually happen? His laptop's encrypted. Drug him and hit him with this $5 wrench until he tells us the password. Got it. You know, that's that's kind of that's kind of the way of it. The people who have the power are not going to give that power up willingly at some point. And we're probably going to have a global government at some point, and then there's going to have to be some revolution from that, and then who knows what comes after that. Just- it- yeah. So that's my thoughts on Filecoin. Okay, let's get back to this here. Um, so showing this, I wanted to do maybe Let's do bonus. Alrighty, so hmm. Bum bum. Do one. Oh, I need to finish this before I do that. Okay. Okay, let's take this through. And then we're going to do 3. And I guess we only need to do up to 4. All right. Okay, now I've got my multiple middleware in there. So now I can make room for Caddy. Power of prefixes. Use.json. Top level routing. Kind of want. Let's see. I've got this problem. Well, I guess that's just a little gotcha. That's not really a big deal. Okay, it's kind of neat. So we get some heavy hitter stuff in here. This, I mean, the core of it is really these few things. Power prefixes is pretty important. All right, let's see about... So we're going to take this to 9. Then we're going to do top level routing. I really need to figure out from Matt Ryer's talk. Hey everybody, how's it going? For those of you just joining in, I was going on a rant. Somebody had asked me about Filecoin, and I was going on a rant about what people think cryptocurrencies are going to do, and then the reality of what the government's going to do. That's why this was up there. Okay, let me get rid of a couple of these. Got a few too many. Close, 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 close. All right. Actually, I do want that link open still. Close that one out. All right. I was going to talk about top level routing. I was going to go look up the Matt Ryer talk and see if I can find how I write HTTP services after 8 years. See if he's got slides or something. Or if there's a really good slide. Let's see. Somewhere in here, he talks about top level routing. Let's see if I can find the slide that shows that. One place for all routes. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can find the precise location where he starts this. I might just link to that. YouTube transcript. Wait, is that... Oh, show transcript is a thing now? What? What? When did this start happening? I mean, I knew that YouTube had a transcript that it could see for itself that sometimes showed up. I didn't realize that... okay, cool. Anyway, I'm going to give this a listen, though, so I can get it the precise link. Thanks for that, Datman Dark.
Here, it would be the last place I look, probably.
I need to learn to speak slow like these people. When Google AI became sentient. I remember the day. Do you remember where you were? I remember where I was when the AI became sentient. Let's see.
I always have a roots.go file. So generally the advice in Go is to group things up by responsibility. So you could have comments, in a file, and everything you need for comments is there, and you could have people in another file, and everything you need for people is in there. And I think initially I used to do routing in each of those places too. But having a single file that maps out your services like this is extremely useful. And if you think about any time someone's mentioned a bug or asked for a feature or asked for a change, you usually get a URL. When it's an HTTP web service, that's kind of what always comes in. So then you need to be able to just go and find the handler that's dealing with that.
So I agree with this very, very much. I was starting to put kind of section things off, and you see people section things off. It just makes it much more difficult to maintain and debug the code. In the general case, you want the package functionality grouped together. That's the whole idea of a component, a package, a lot of code can be described this way, an application. But this is one of those areas where the exception defines the rule, because this is your index of all the things.
Request. This is a very easy way to do this. And it's very glanceable. You can see the whole map of your API in one place. So I think that's a real kind of advantage when it comes to maintainability as well.
Okay, so he didn't really have much to say about it, but what he had to say was spot on. Okay, Java devs hate him, but my 1,000 files with a single class declaration. I don't understand the joke. Probably because I don't experience enough of the pain of Java. I experienced enough of it to stay away. With a single class declaration. I think this is the same thing that people do in TypeScript, where they basically define one function. They decline a whole. They define a whole class and a whole factory, and just to put one function in there, rather than grouping things together. So, here's the stuff that does the thing that's important. Okay, mood equals input. Hello world, how is everyone on this beautiful day? Well, Code Cat, you'll be happy to know that it's a beautiful day and we're good, I think. Hey, Primavera. Pasta. Yum. I like fettuccine. I don't like spaghetti noodles. Angel hair can be good. Fettuccine is awesome. Spaghetti is a no. That's what I was shaking my head for. And then I said, the other one my mistake anyway. Yeah, Java. I don't want to do anything with Java. Kind of interested to see what he says here. Oh. Yep, yeah, same way. Yeah. You're gonna find. It seems that a lot of these ideas, they just coalesce. They all come together. All right. So let me just see if I can snap a picture of him to put in here. That looks good. I wish I could get rid of all this junk. I guess I can. I can just crop it whatever way I want. I will crop it right here. Just skip the devil's pixel there. There we are. Boom. I've got an Imgur tab open up over here. I'm just gonna put this in. Ah, sometimes Finder does this to me where it just spins. I don't know if I can bring this over. No, I can't bring it over. It's just spinning. I don't think there's any good reason for it. Keep on spinning, keep on spinning. Da 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 da. All right. Let's go with 90%. Let's go with 100%. All right, so I'm gonna nab his slide for this. I probably should have. Yeah, I can't do everything. This presentation is already getting powerfully long. Ah, I don't like that. I don't like that edge there. I gotta get rid of it. After these images, we'll be right back. Now, give me a second, folks. I gotta crop that BZ out of here. Can't live my life like that. Not anymore. Let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right, let's I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I just I just can't. There we go. Okay, we're gonna re-upload that. And then update this URLZ. What? Where did it go? Oh. Oh, I refreshed before the upload was complete. How does that happen on Fiber? Can someone explain that to me? What's up, Adrian? Thanks for the sub. Way to be a pal. Oh, by the way, a little reminder from me to myself that came up in the chat a few minutes ago. If you like what you like, get more of what you like. So, if you like the sound of my voice, if it helps you fall asleep at night, if you're learning anything, if this is entertaining, I know this is not entertaining right now, but sometimes it is entertaining. You know, when you're going on for what, hours on end. I did a 5-hour, 6-hour stream earlier today, and it can't always be entertaining. Anyway, but if any of those conditions happen to be true and you want to consider like, sub, follow, whatever. Also, there is a Discord. It's mostly silent, but you can join in and break that silence anytime you like. Okay. All right, so with this, yeah, I think that's good. Where's that one with the I had a board? There we go. This is what I want to do. Let me go find. Let me go find. Let me get rid of this thing here because I want to follow the same way that I've been doing it with the other ones. Let me go to 100. Hey, what's up, Primavera? Hey, yeah, that you're there, and now you're there. You you just wanted to see your name on the screen. Just, oh man, I've never had my name on the screen before. I bet if I sub, my name will show up. I know your tricks. Okay. Let's see. This was his how I write HTTP services. All right, cool. Now we got the nice little, card style backdrop on there. Primavera says it's so true. Sad, you caught me. All right, and then I think I should provide also. Let me see if I can get a good example here in JavaScript. Let profile equals require a profile get API user me profile.get post profile.update. I'm gonna go 1 through 99 here. And then do something else. Friends. Maybe friends.list. Friends.add. And we can elide the rest. I think that'll be good enough. Except this would need to be, oh, whoa, cardinal sin. Okay. And so I think I actually am going to put base tag in here. We're going to bump this. We're going to bump this use JSON. And we're going to move it to, by the way, for those of you that don't know, I'm working on slides for a presentation tomorrow. Pretty much what I've been working on all day. This also, I want to eventually turn this into course material as well. And I want to use it for training at work. So hopefully it'll be worth the time spent. If not, well, you live, you die. And you do whatever you do in between. I already forgot what it is because there's a 20-second lag or so. I already forgot what it is I call the cardinal sin. But remind me, because I do remember saying it. I just don't remember what I said it about. But remind me and then I will explain. Oh, there it is. Top level routing. Whoops. Oh, because it makes so if you let me go back to this require. Can I find it? / Okay. So if you do not put either the slash or the .js, one of those two, then weird things can happen. Basically, what happens is you will end up refactoring, and at some point, something that has been named whatever JS, you'll need more functionality and you'll create a folder. Or you may have had a folder and you realize that this is better off as a file. But something will happen where you'll have both a folder and a file with the same name. And when that happens, then you get this weird bug where your program breaks because it was loading the one thing, but now it's loading the other thing instead because you have these precedence rules of the require. So if you put the slash, then you know that it's going to be requiring profile index.js. And if you put .js, you know it's going to be requiring profile.js. You don't have to guess. And so that's why I say that you should always put either the slash or the .js there. Plus, when you're refactoring, it makes it easier to find where you've required a particular thing. Because, for example, you probably have the word profile all over the place, but you probably don't have profile slash or profile, especially profile.js in as many places. So it's about being unambiguous, as well as just being easier to work with in general. Okay, so I swapped JSON, power of prefixes. I'm kind of back with this is another one where this kind of belongs in back where maybe back when I talked about the router, because this is more of a gotcha that directly applies to that. So I kind of just want to merge that in up there, maybe. Well, what I can do just to get on with it is I'll have a little bit of time to reorganize any of the slides before I present tomorrow. So I think the best thing for me to do is just to continue on with the slides. Just make sure I get the content and then worry about nitpicking the order afterwards. Okay, so next thing is 10 is .get versus .use. And there's basically just one there's two cases I can think of. So let's go with .use. .use is stateful. Well, let's say more stateful, or let's say carries, manages state. This is intended for middleware and routers. That's too long. Middleware routers manages states. Can respond. Typically, it's e.g. errors. Say auth errors. And then let's go over to .get. Let's see, MWM2. Middleware handler. Okay. Some state resets. You can, forget which it was. I think it was. I don't know if it was the rendering static. Let me go check on this. There's a really easy bug that you can get at. Express static. Should respond. Okay. Let's just put some alarm here. Alert, alarm. Danger. Robot. There we go. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I mean, this is small enough it could kind of just be a bonus to that other one. We shall see. Let me go ahead and check out what we're rendering so far. Top level routes, show some routes. Let's see. One before and the one after. I have to do it this way, right? So we're going to do 1 and then 2 through 3. Maybe 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 5. And then 2 through 3, 6 through 7. If I can get the daggone 7 key pressed. Okay. All right. That's probably good enough. Literally, this is one of those ones where every once in a while it'll get you. And so it's really good to know about this because every once in a while you accidentally put something like app.get where you mean app.use, and you could spend hours trying to figure out what's going wrong. It's just really, really nasty. Nasty. Okay, so that one's done. Is that really done? That was that easy? Is that simple? Maybe I need to be more like Matt Ryer and have one slide I can talk about rather than 10. I mean, this thing's got, it's going to have nearly 200 slides, but it does count. Let's see. For example, this is 2 slides. So every state change is a slide as well. Okay, but so we've got the 10. Now we need to go to 11. Crank it to 11. JS doc and TSC. I think a number of these I actually should break down into their own thing. And again, part of that is what I'm hoping to do with I need to be creating much more of this content regularly. Um, and then at some point I need to sort through it all. But a lot of my problem is just how do I get it all out? Because there's so much you need to learn as a developer. For example, talking about .env. Does that really belong in a thing about Express? Well, yeah, it kind of does because too many people don't understand the basic ABC stuff. You know, they jump into development and they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know, you know, it's just you gotta have a basic understanding of, you know, file structure and how to run commands. And people don't know that. So for me, it's one of the potential issues with ADHD is I'm a nonlinear thinker, and when I think about things, I often think about them more about, say, priority order or logic order rather than story order. And story order is probably how everybody, including people like myself, prefer to hear things. I like to hear them in story order. But you know, for example, should I actually be talking about the .env, you know, so soon? Because the .env is one of the first things you got to do, you know, before you even run your thing. Yeah, you know, that's just basic boilerplate. It's going to be there. Um, but then the question is, or is it? So I gotta figure out, you know, these tips. Kind of got to figure out a way to put them in a story too. And that's something I haven't done well in my, you know, anything that's going to be a presentation style like this where there's slides needs to have a story to it. Just, I kind of want to just the facts, ma'am. So, but maybe I'll figure some of that out tomorrow. It's about time for me to hit the hay. Maybe. We shall see. All right. At type import install save dev at types express at type import express dot, I think it's handler. Let me go trying to think what's a recent project I did with all this in it. Maybe I'll just go look at some work stuff here. Uh, okay, let's try this again. Not fast enough. Okay. Here we are. Handler. And then this one. I don't think I actually want any of this. What is that I'm hearing going on and off? I heard something going on. It's like it sounded like a heater. A little click click. Came from that direction. Anything's plugged in over there. Hmm. Well, whatever. All right, so let's see. Oh, whoops. Let's see. So, what have we got here? Uh, there we are. That's what was wrong. So we need 1 and 2, and then we need 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 6 and 7. And then we can just take 1 and 2 again. And we can do this. So this is kind of, so this is really middleware. This, so yeah, so this is middleware stuff. Let's see. Middleware. And then we could say here, we just say handlers and then error handlers. Or maybe I could just, instead of putting that like this, just do it like that. Maybe I could make it strong or something. So this is what middleware looks like with the next. Handlers look like with the res. Error handlers. Okay, what else? What else do I need to speak to? Oh, um, then I think I just want to mention, you know, um, custom special modifications. You know, rec dot user. That's one that you might want to do. So you might have typings. I'm gonna go find a project where I did this real quick. On my other screen for a second, looking up this information. Okay. Go straight to user and say user. All right. Types.js. And then in there might have what our user is. Type def user. Then we're up. So yeah, add property. Let's say string name. See, I'm doing that thing where I'm doing it kind of in precedence order rather than story order. So here, story order needs to be first, we're talking about special modifications. This is showing the why we need this thing. So really, just, you know, if rec.user, let's see, must user. If not, rec.user, no. Next. Throw new error. Must be logged in. Alright. So that's what I was talking about. 1, 2, 3. All right, so so this thing's not the right type. So what we do, we go and we define. So I did it in exactly the wrong order. I did it in logical order, not story order. So then we say, well, what is user anyway? So well, we're gonna have this types.js. Have our user there. Then we have our typings, express, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to declare this thing. And then in our JS config.json, we're going to have type diff minus type roots that, and we have plus okay, so I have that one in there. And I guess do it like this. So that's the main thing that's going to be different about our JS config. Then we'll say QRST. Let's put the T after. Does anybody else, not anybody, but does everybody else do that where you don't know where things are in the alphabet? You have to pick one of the 3 or 4 letter combos, and just repeat the combo that has the letter that you. Or do people actually know? Just, yeah, T comes after S. I just know it. Okay. Special modifications. So you might need to put in your type. You're going to just declare this namespace. And then, oops, type def. All right. So we're really close to done now. I'm down to, let's see. I should do this more often when I'm in this state of tiredness because it provokes expediency. All right, so now let's look at caddy file. And then let me see, do I have the caddy file for localhost, GitHub, web install? Okay. I need to get some of those by Saturday. Probably. Let's see. I'm not gonna have time to work on that tomorrow. Mhm. Okay. What am I up to? So caddy file. All right. Let's go to web install /caddy. Do we have the local host stuff here? That reverse proxy thing. I need to check for a caddy file that does localhost. I know I've used one, but I don't know where I have one. Let's see. Okay. So we're just going to show a really truncated version of caddy file. Localhost 3001. And I'm going to try this out. Reverse proxy. I think I had some caddy up. Don't I have some caddy updates we're waiting for in the documentation? Let me check this. Caddy, no? Okay. Docs for caddy cheat sheet. I think I had one about. There's something about a path group that I needed to know. I'm trying to remember what it was. Something about including or excluding a path. Oh, I think I know. I think I know. So I remember. Hmm. Hmm. I gotta go look this up. Interesting. All right, well, that's that. Let's see. I think I know a GitHub repo where trying to remember what it was. It was something. I don't know if it's even related to what I'm wanting to do right now. No, it is. It is. Because what I found is that it's better just to always specify the path that you want a rule to apply to. That was the interesting bit of learning. see if I can find it. No, it doesn't look like that's that there. But it should be here. It's looking on my other screen for a config option that I used recently. Oh, that's not right. Okay, looking. Hmm. Builder. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna take another look here in just a second. Okay. Hmm. What is going on? Hmm. Ah, there we go. I think I found it now. Handle path. That's it. Handle path. Do I have that anywhere here? Handle path. Oops. Click in here. Take a look. Wait, I said I was updating the Webby cheat sheet. Wait. But then, was it there? Oh, it isn't there now. Ah, okay, cool. Good. But then I don't remember. Let's see, not API. Yeah, it was kind of difficult. Maybe this would be better served. So it's got the try files. I have to double check and see if this works, because I think this will take priority over this. I'm not sure. Is there a simpler way to do this? Oh, and is there a way to do a relative root? I think so. Mm, let's see. Let's see. Is there a simpler way to do this? Well, let's just see if it fits. If it fits, it ships. Not quite, but close enough. Can I make this any smaller? I can make it one line smaller. Caddy route. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see about this. Handle. Can I see some examples? Handle requests and foo when this tester. Send all other requests to the reverse proxy. Okay. So I think this is actually the way that this is supposed to be. Is rather than have a not API, have a handle I'm going to test this and see if it works. Ah. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see if we can use a relative path here. That's what I want. Okay, so I just make public index.html. Hello. Caddy file. Okay. I still have to get this right. So I don't quite understand that. Let me go look at the rewrite directive in Caddy. See what that looks like. Rewrite matcher. Let's see. Matcher. Okay, file. File is a matcher. Okay. So is try in of itself, or is file in of itself a matcher? Could I just put it in here. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, so now, if I'm not mistaken, localhost 3000 should be active. Next on HTML. Well, what went wrong? Localhost 3000. Oh. Slash. Yeah, let's say it's 3001. Reverse proxy. I don't know what I did. Let's see. Environment variables. Let's go to there. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Caddy font. Let's see. Let me try just grabbing the whole thing here that I already had. And I'm going to change that over. Let's change this over to local host. And 3001. Okay, why is this still not working? Hmm. I don't know what this is doing. Oh, oh, interesting. It's interesting indeed. Some sort of configuration problem there. Okay, so let's turn this back around to the pro tips. All right, so there's 3001. Oh, right. So files. Then we go back to this one, the try files. Let's see. Okay, and then refresh. Hey, okay, so that worked. So let's just call this 3443. All right, let's see if I can understand this matcher thing again. See. Okay. Cool. So we can cut down on this. Just kind of do try files instead of the redirect. If this is true, that'll be awesome. So mkdir foo touch probably foo.html. Well, let's do bar.html. bar.html bar public foo index.html foo foo and then public baths. Okay. And let's do 3443. Is that what I decided on? Great. Hello. Can we do hello foo? Foo.html? Nope. We can do hello foo. And I think we can do hello bar. Nope. Bar needs to be .html. Do hello bar. We can do baths. Bar didn't work out. Why not? Okay. Foo bar. Ah, okay, this makes sense. So we're going to try the file exactly. The file as a folder, or the file as folder.html. Okay, got it. This is better. Okay. Doc. Simplify caddy file example. That I better understand, handle files, shorten example a little bit. Something closer to this. Also, we should we should show localhost. Okay, that's good. So that was definitely a good thing that came out of this. Now I'm a little bit smarter than I was before. Let me see if I can get this. Let's see, where's that auto at? So we want to talk about handling the reverse proxy and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where did my presentation go? Here we are. Web server. Try files. I wonder if I just get rid of the try files if this will still work the way that I expect it to. Foo. Foo's still working. Okay. Water.html, that still works. That still works. Okay, so might not even need the try files. I think this might be enough. Oh, hello. Oh, unfortunately, I did not see who just subbed, but hey, thanks for the sub. Uh, API. No, no try files. No route. Handle HTTP and HTTPS on same port. Let's see. Wish this thing wouldn't auto walk out Q&A. Okay, it is midnight. It is bewitching hour. I think I'm going to call what I have good and be done. Oh, I do need to try this one more thing. Cool. All right. Well, that's looking good. That's way simplified. Oh, I got through everything. Except for, I was going to link to some helpful resources. I don't even know where those went. And am I done with the JS Doc stuff? I think I am. It's JS with types, JS Doc TSC starter. This is something I would like to. I definitely am going to vastly improve this before I do my other talk, my the one in September. I'm going to have a tool that gets some of the stupid stuff set up. Just a few things that need to be specified or need manual modifications like this, for example, this type roots thing. That's just dumb. It just shouldn't need to be done. Um, so I'm going to create an init that inits it, a JS config init essentially, as what I'm going to create for that presentation so that that tool exists. Okay, what was I going to do between these? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. All right, so this is now 9, so we shorten that by 1. But I think the 2 through 4 remains the same. And I think 5, this now be 5 through 8. All right, so this is pretty darn close. All right, so that was honorable mention base tag. So honorable mention base tag. This is only going to take me a minute. NPM, dang it. Wait. let's see, npm scripts set. Ah, okay. Should be consistent, but it isn't. Whatever. Okay, let's see. Oops. Okay. So okay. All right, so we got the honorable mention for base tag here. And hmm. Hmm. Then I'm just going to put in some helpful resources. Let's go with cookies. JWTs. Grab this real quick. Actually, I think I just want to put this in here this way. They're going to be, URLs are going to be too long, but whatever. Let's see. Interesting. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm gonna wrap up here. All right, is that the whole thing? Is that everything? Might be. The power prefixes, top level routing, caddy file. Caddy file I kind of want to put back over there on that first page. Let's see. Yeah, but everything's here. That's it. That's the whole thing. Now, if I could speak slower and say less, but communicate more. All right, here I go. That is version 1 of this presentation. It only took 9 hours, 10 hours. Ugh, 9 hours. Between 8 and 9 hours. And if I wanted to make it great, I'd probably need to put another 100 hours into it. Yeah, I probably should break this down into several. I gotta figure out how to. Well, I don't really have a time limit on this one. Oh, whoops. There's a couple of those I'm gonna have to fix. I'm sure. Why did that animate not work between these two? What's wrong between them? Or it was just the last one? Oh, that's why the animate didn't work on this one. Because it's gotta have that. All right, I'm going to call this good. I will revisit it some tomorrow, I suppose, during my lunch break or something. All right, well, for anybody that's still around, see there's a few of you. Thanks for joining in. Feel free to drop any questions or comments in the Discord. There's a link right there. I'm also going to give you again the link to the Utah Node.js YouTube channel. So this presentation, I will be presenting it live tomorrow. So that will be, yeah, the slides actually finally presented. Serving static files, Express. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. I might give this a rewatch tomorrow. Oh, whoops, apparently that didn't reopen. That's weird. I'll have to take a look at that tomorrow. Okay, we don't want those. That's good. All right. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm gonna go check and see, is there anybody we can raid? O.nerd. Let's see. Oh, I don't know what. All right, I'm gonna do that raid. Give me just a second here. Ah, where's the shelfie, my bob? Raid O.nerd. But before we do that, let's have a little bit of a celebratory something or other here. Finished a thing. Whoops. I spelled O.nerd wrong. There we go. Raid for all of you. Here we go. Boo.